All right, everyone. So the idea of this session is to give you a kind of we want the assessment that you are supposed to do for a machine learning project, right? So what we're supposed to do in this project, so I said you can practice Kaggle, right? So that is for the purpose of learning. So of course Kaggle is a good place to train whatever you have learned. So apart from that, you have this 50 marks project, which also is important. So for this, you guys have to set up a ML project or product, right? So basically, you have to come up with the ML product. So uh, again, like we discussed in OHTS, right? So this is also important to understand. There are plenty of tutorials there in the internet. There are millions of them explaining how to develop, as an example, house market prediction, uh, or detecting of faces. So there are so many of them. So it's okay to use them. That's completely fine as long as you refer them, right? So, but there are some rules here. Your project should be completely open source, meaning that you have to post it in GitHub, right? Open source, and then you have to basically build the whole architecture starting from the idea generation, right? The idea to a final workable model. So that has to be either hosted somewhere in the cloud like Colabs, Google Colabs, or some place, or in your own server, or it can be a mobile application. So then the server should be created. So it should be a complete product. So it should be an end-to-end product. So please understand that. So it should be end-to-end product. So it should be end-to-end. So you can't say, okay, I have some codes in GitHub. No, I should see the final product, right? So outcome wise, you have to have all your code in GitHub, so that should be there, right? And also you have to do a video of at least 1 hour this time, explaining whatever you have done from idea generation to develop deployment, right? And also explaining the code base, and also whatever the ML model you have used. So make sure that you use the ML model. It can be either shallow learning or deep learning. So it can be either random forest or from deep forest. Deep learning, you can get something like CNN. So it's up to you to work on that. So you have the complete freedom to select your machine learning model, right? So that's again your choice. And the marks, you get the marks based on, right? So you have to understand that based on your novelty. So you can of course do a full complete tutorial, right? And then you can you have to say, like, using any tutorial from the web, you have to explain exactly, you have to give the references. So you should clearly say, I'm using this particular document and I'm defining my project based on that. So and also if it is in novel part, your own thinking, that also should be represented. So like in the previous example which I gave you, so you get a maximum mark if you are just doing a tutorial, say 60 out of 100, and the rest of the marks would be depend on the amount of novelty that you have added to the project. All right. So again, for this also we'll have online session on Wednesday 15th at 10:30 or 11, so you can ask your questions. All right. So that's briefly what you're supposed to do in the project. And also so I have already told you this few weeks back, but anyway, I will give you up to 5th of March, also 5th of May. So that will be the deadline, right? So these are the deliverables. So make sure that you fix time on this, right? And make sure to add yourself to the Slack group and also the team, so I would know exactly what the people who are doing this course, right? So that's basically what you're supposed to do. So in a selecting the project idea, I'll give you some help. I'll go to some projects, and you don't have to exactly specialize it into cybersecurity. You can select any other project, but in cybersecurity, it can be like more interesting and more relevant, right? So it's up to you again, right? Okay, and now let me take you through some project ideas. So this site also, uh, I will put it, you can see the site anyway. So Here it lists down several projects, right? Um, okay. Okay. So let's see. There are some beginner level projects. So I would highly recommend you not to do the beginner level projects, right? As an example, you can get this iris flower. You can get the data set downloaded, and you have to distinguish, as I said, different species, right? So you can use a basic classification algorithm and can do it. So these are the training projects, I believe, right? Remember, from the idea generation to the final uh, right final deployment, you have to explain things, right? And also make sure that it's implemented in your environment, and finally it should be some working model. So at the end, if it is in the form of a mobile app or a web app or a Windows app or a Linux app, it doesn't matter. So you should have a complete implementation. And also, like, I'll give you 2 weeks to give a kind of a review or kind of a progress that should also get delivered from a video and a document. So I would know that you are continuing with the project. Now, also similarly, loan prediction. Build a model, classify how much loan the user can take. Again, data set is available here in Kaggle. And basically from that, you can do that project. And also very famous house price prediction. So again, you have a data set in Kaggle, right? So basically, this is an example in Boston, right? The expense of the house varies according to various factors like crime rate, number of rooms. So we had done some examples where the area, number of bathrooms or bedrooms, and yeah, so those are the things that we consider. So in this example, in this data set, you have crime rate as well. So depending on that, the price of the house also might change. And this is again a really famous MS data set. So you have numbers, you have given the scan copies, and you have to use the numbers or decide on the numbers. Again, a digital classification, really famous. So even source codes are available in GitHub and many places. You can download these data sets, right? And stock market prediction. Even though it's a very complicated problem, there are so many simple solutions. Again, the catch is the accuracy of the final result, but still, even this you can work on if you have the right data sets, right? So the data set that is available again here is the Kaggle data set. If you can do it for Sri Lanka or any related things, you are welcome to do that. And Titanic, don't select this one. So this is so famous. I think this is the hacked version. So there are so many new things that you can do. Uh, that's understandable, but still, I would highly recommend not to select this one. But as a homework project, this can be a good idea, or a training project. This can be a good idea. All right. And then wine quality test. This is something that we have not discussed, but there's also some project that you can do. So basically what the project does is interface to predict the quality of the red wine. Right? So again, the data set is provided, and yeah, so data set provided, and it's from this ICS UI edu. So from there you can get the data set. All right. And then fake news detection project. This is also okay to take, but again, make sure that no two people can share the same idea. So you have to tell me like what piece you're going to take, right? So again, you have data set. So basically, uh, so fake news spreads, and we can learn to distinguish fake news from the real one. So that's basically a classification. Right. So then these are the projects that you can work on. Bitcoin price predictor. The Bitcoin price predictor use the this project help you predict the price of the Bitcoin using previous data. So Bitcoin is varying rapid rate. So now this one tries to give you a kind of a, indication of what will happen to Bitcoin, right? And then Uber data analysis project. So the project can use to perform data visualization on the Uber data. So dataset contains 4.5 million Uber pickups. This much data needs to be represented beautifully in order to blah blah blah. Right? So dataset is available. So again, this can be a large data set. So I will post a video on how to work with large data sets also. So you can work on that. And similarly, there are other projects, Xbox game prediction, credit card fraud detection. So yeah, so select one of those and try to at least do some selected one from intermediate level to the advanced level, right? But remember, don't try to select all the projects from this website. So this is just a sample website. There are so many other places, and this is another place. Sorry. All right. So in there here, you find a lot of fun machine learning projects, right? So there are plenty of see, you can get predict stock prices, right? Teach a neural network to read handwriting, investigate Enron scandal, if you can remember. So that's another list. So there's plenty of interesting project ideas. So don't select something really big because you have like 1 month to go through this, right? So select something possible to do within this period. And anyway, I hope that you're working with this. And also these are some other things, Barbie with brains. So this one is Springboard. So there are also some projects available. So you can get the URLs from the video, and then towards data science, here you have a list of around yeah, how to get new project ideas. And then there is a long list of projects. There are around 120 project ideas here. These are actually real project ideas. Mm, so I can connect share this link in the video. So 120 machine learning business ideas, right? So in the McKinsey report. Yeah, so that can be very useful. So now I believe you got the idea. So again, going to my whiteboard. So make sure that you give the GitHub and also the video or presentation representing whatever you have done. So you get marks for things that you do also. So please like do give the idea of all the uh, steps. All right, mm, all the steps. Hope it's clear to you guys. Mm, okay, so all the other questions that you have, you can ask in the time of the online session. All right. Okay. So please start with the activity. All right. And I need a progress within 2 weeks time.